This one is not so light. It's called The Confession. Todd had just asked his girlfriend's hand in marriage. Jessica had been waiting for this moment for the longest time. She was some years younger than Todd. She was young, but she knew what she wanted in life, although at her age she was still a bit naive. The next morning, she was sitting on the couch talking on the phone with friends about the exciting news. The night had not been so kind to Todd. He had a nightmare. He suffered from nightmares before, but this one wasn't fiction. It was a memory from his past that occurred 10 years prior. He didn't remember it for 10 years because he was severely drunk the night it happened. He and his wife-to-be had no secrets. It took tremendous bravery, but he promised himself to be completely honest with her. He made himself look as presentable as possible and walked into the living room where she was, with pain in his face, wondering how in the world the story was going to come out. Entering her sight, his manner changed to keep from scaring her away. She saw him there and said goodbye on the phone. She turned to him and said, "Hi, honey," and immediately saw that something was wrong. She said, "Are you okay? What's wrong?" Todd had difficulty finding the right words. His heart was pounding. He took it slow and started by sitting down. He looked at her and spoke carefully. "I have something to tell you." "Okay, I'm listening." 10 years ago, I had just been released from boot camp. I was sitting in a bar. My friends and I had gone there, but they also wanted to try other bars in the area. I wanted to stay behind because I didn't feel like moving. A few minutes went by, and as I looked up, I saw across the bar a very good-looking woman was watching me. I had no idea how long she had been looking at me. I approached her, introduced myself, and offered to pay for a drink. She accepted. We had small talk. She told me that she was there to get away from her argumentative boyfriend. She left him at home and ended up at the bar. She wanted a night on the edge. I was already tipsy, so I went along with it. We had drink after drink, and she talked about herself and the problems she was having with her boyfriend. She said she wanted out. She wanted out right then and there. Then she looked outside at the ocean. The bar was on a beach. She saw someone docking their rowboat on the shore. This someone ran off chasing a girl he was with. I could tell they were playing some sexual game. This woman I'd been talking to, seeing the boat, jumped from her seat, excitedly ordered me to come with her. The boat was a white one. It had marks on it like it had been out several times without maintenance. This aged look made the boat look romantic under the light coming from the bar. I thought that's why I caught her eye. She climbed in, invited me to join her. I looked around, worried previous people would come back and catch us. For all we knew, it was their boat. I declined. Barely able to stand up, let alone climb into the thing. She said to me, "Get in, what are you afraid of? Those people are off having sex somewhere. They won't be back for a while. We'll be back by then." Being drunk, I made a dumb choice and pushed the boat into the water and climbed in. It took 3 attempts. She knew that I had no idea what I was doing or what I was supposed to be doing. She pulled me close and knocked me to my back. Then she rested on top of me and began to kiss me. I eventually closed my eyes getting into it. Minutes later, she sat back up. The wind blowing in her hair added to the romance. And then the boat rocked, and I heard a splash. I thought it was a big fish. I wanted to see it. Fish looked pretty under the moonlight. Todd looked toward his right as he looked deep into the past. By the time I got up, I pulled my head over the wall of the boat. I saw a hand reach out from the water. It was her. At first I thought she was just being funny, waving at me, so I waved back. Then I slowly realized she was drowning. She had mentioned sometime earlier that she couldn't swim. That's why she ran for the boat and not the water. I reached out to grab her hand, but only could brush her fingers with my own fingers. I then passed out, he cries. The winds changed, and the current brought me back to the shore. The people who owned the boat found me sleeping the following morning. They woke me up and helped me out. They didn't care I had passed out in the boat. I didn't even remember taking it out. I never remembered it until I dreamed of it last night. Todd looked at toward the floor. I'll never forget about it now. Then he looked at his soon-to-be wife. I'm so sorry I allowed your mother to die. It took Jessica a moment to realize what Todd just said. As the comprehension of this horrible truth fell upon her, she became confused. What? She asked. Todd didn't answer back. He had a feeling she heard him. I don't think you really want me to repeat what I just said. Todd, this is some weird joke. It's not funny, she frowned. My mom died when I was 10. My father raised me. He said that she died of natural causes when he and she went to the beach for vacation. He came back early. They used to have a beach on a house in North Carolina. Todd said, finishing what she was going to say. I was 20-year-old soldier. I had just gotten out of boot camp. Your mom was 30. Jessica thought he was mistaken. Hold on, I have some pictures of their vacation. You obviously have the wrong place. She headed to the bedroom quickly and came back just as fast because leaving for a party was her main priority. She opened the family photo album. He showed him pictures that were taken by her dad 10 years ago. She pointed to a picture with her mom and dad holding hands. See, that's my mom. You got the wrong girl. Todd looked at this woman as if he knew her. Jessica could see something in his eyes. She could see that he did know her, and he had a look in his eyes as if he was apologizing. A tear fell from his eyes. Jessica panicked. She desperately wanted to separate her mom from Todd's story. She tells him about the picture. My dad said that this picture was taken just before they went to this bar that evening called Mazda. Todd finished her sentence once again. She looked at him being startled. She began to shake. I saw this picture last night before I went to bed. I saw your mom and it sparked a memory. She looked oddly familiar to me, but I couldn't place how I knew her until I dreamed about it. Before Todd could say any more, Jessica interrupted him, not wanting to hear any more. She held her tears back in denial. I don't want to talk about this more. We have to get ready for a party. I have a million things I have to do, and you probably don't know what you're talking about anyway, so let's just not talk about it. Jessica got ready for the party. The end.